Alright, Squiddy P here. I'm a student at Thomas Edison State University, and I'm going to show you how to do programming assignment 1, number 1, the random number generator. Now this is written in Java, and as you can see, this is COS 111, Introduction to Programming. Let's see here. So keep in mind, in Java, we need to name the file the same as our main class. So file save as, we're going to save this as RanNumGen. Apologize, I'm doing this in one take, and my typing is garbage. And as you see, nothing changed. I need to rename this .java. I'm using the Atom text editor. All right, look at all that. Everything is commented that is there. So first things first, we need our public class RanNumGen. All this information can be found in chapters 1 through 1.1, 1.1, 1.2, 1.3. Public static void main string. This is argues. All right. Now this will allow us to get user input from the command line. This will allow us to get input from the command line, and I spelled it wrong. Args. All right, so what are we going to need? It looks like we're going to need a minimum value, a maximum value, a random number. So the math method uses double. So we're going to use double, and we're going to do random. How's that? Let's do rand. Oh, my typing is garbage. RanNum. All right, we're not going to initialize it. I'm going to do another double because we need, looks like we need a minimum value and maximum value. So let's do double min val. If you guys are wondering, my style is called camel case. That's where you capitalize the first letter of the next word. All right, so we need a random number, a min, and a max. Okay, so let's start this. Okay, so we know we're going to need, all right, so we're going to get some user input here. Looks like we're going to have to do 5 or 8, depending on what it is. So we're going to need a loop. So for with int I is equal to 0, that gives it a counter, and I is less than, well, we need some user input. So we need to know how many the user wants. So how many, as you can see, I've done this a little bit before, I plus plus. Now look, this variable is not in our mint here, so let's in our list here, so let's do a variable double how many. Okay, and then what we're going to do for our, oops. Okay, so we are going to, for this whole thing, we're going to output a line. So let's go system out print. Since we want the line up, we don't need to put a new line. Then we're going to print out the random number. I'm going to print out the random. Now, because this inputs a string, we need to output a number. We need to cast this to an integer, which will also turn this double into an integer. All right, and we don't have any user input right now, so how do we do that? Well, we need to initialize this with the Let's see, we've got integer. We've got integer dot parse int, right there, parse int. All right, and we're going to use the arguments because it's going to be a string. We want the arguments, and we want to be the first argument, so 0. So now that gives us how many from the user. The user is going to tell us how many. So now we got this. We're going to output the random number. We actually need to make a random number. So let's do rand num. Now I know I'm doing this all over the place. This is how my brain thinks. We want the math dot random method, and that is a close. And then we want to times that by 100 because we want variable from 1 to 100, and this is going to be from 0 to 1. That's what this rand does. All right, got this 100, and this is print out there. Oh, let's do this. We need to add some spaces in here. So it's called catenate. Put a space in here, maybe 2. All right, so it's going to have a random number, then 2 spaces, and a random number, 2 spaces for how many we put in there. All right, so we haven't used our min or max value yet. Let's put this, let's see, 4. We'll put inside our for loop. So if the if our min value is greater than or equal to our random number, num, random number, we are going to, the minimum value is going to equal the random. And typically you would do an else statement, but we are not going to do that. We're just going to do another if statement. So if max value is greater than or equal to the random, you're going to have the max value equal the random. All right, is that all we need? So I'll put that random number to the line. If this, oh, we need to, so we need to actually put this out to the terminal console, depending on your system out print. I'm going to print a line because we actually want this on a different line. And it's going to be the minimum value is space plus. We want the min, oops, got too excited on that tab. We want the min val, there we go. And then we want to add a period. All right, we'll close that. That looks like I have an extra down here. Let's make sure I line up all my brackets here. This bracket is there. That bracket's there, bracket's there. This bracket, we go to that one. Got an extra one here. Okay, so we gotta keep all this syntax in line. Okay, and then system dot out print new line the maximum, which I got an O in there, maximum value is space plus, oops, just like having things a certain way. Max val plus dot, and I just fat fingered that. All right here. So let's see. Got a random number. It's going to be a math, random number, output the random number, and it's going to be how many number we got. Get the user input. All right, let's see how this works. We want to save the file. Again, I'm using Atom. And to output the file, I'm going to open up my terminal, and I am not in the right directory, so oops, documents, CO, and then this is going to be project assignment 1, enter. So whoops, you guys can see all my problems. Okay, we're going to Java compile. This is built into all modern operating systems. We want the RanNumGen.java file. Hit it. Ooh, we have some errors here. See, might not be initiated. Okay, so we need to initiate these values. Now I did this on purpose just to show you some of the errors. So we need to initiate well, if I put 0 on the min value, it's always going to be 0. So let's do, my highest could be 100, so let's do 101. And my max min value, let's do that one to 0. So let's save that. All right, let's try compiling this again. All right, no errors. Now to run it, Java RanNumGen. All right, let's go. I got another error. Oh, I need some user input. That's right. So let's go 4 for 4 variables. Okay. Look, we got this. We need a new line here. But overall, this thing works. So let's go back. Let's cast these into the ints to knock off those doubles. All right, and what else did we have here? We didn't want that a new line. Let's put a new line right here. System dot out dot print line, and of course I fat fingered that. Okay, file, save. You're going to recompile it. No errors. Rerun it. Look at that. I would say that looks very similar to what our output needs to be. All right, again, this is Introduction to Programming, COS 101 with Thomas Edison State University. This is question 1 in the first programming assignment. Hope you learned something. As you can see, I'm not doing any comments. You need to heavily comment your code, but this is just one way of doing this. Hope you learned something.